Welcome to On Air with Kash. Our guest today's breakthrough performance was as Nate Silva, the Gold Beast Morphers Ranger in Power Rangers Beast Morphers. In 2020, he was nominated for a Kids' Choice Award for Favorite TV Actor. He currently plays Spencer Buckley in Saved by the Bell on Peacock. Please welcome Abraham Rodriguez.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Abraham, thank you so much for being here today. I know you have been on a roll. I know you're a very busy man, and we appreciate your time with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Definitely. So let's dive right into this. I know the story about how you auditioned for Power Rangers, and even after it was confirmed, you flew to New Zealand, and you still couldn't say that you were officially the Gold Beast Ranger.
Yes, that was by far the hardest secret I had to keep. And it was for so long, too. Even while I was auditioning for the show, I kept it low key. And I think the biggest thing I had to get through was I had to move out of my apartment in LA, and I couldn't tell my roommates that I booked Power Rangers. And I also couldn't say that I was even going to New Zealand because they know that that was for Power Rangers. So I unfortunately had to lie to them and say that I booked a movie and I was going to Atlanta to just kind of throw them off. And then I was able to move back home to Vegas, and I only told like my immediate family and like my closest like friend. And that was like for I think a month before I actually went to New Zealand. And then I was in New Zealand for I think about a month until we were finally able to post that we got the job and that we were in New Zealand and filming and everything. So yeah, it was super, super crazy, super high stakes. I was like so strict with my family, like, you guys like cannot ruin this. Like, if you say anything or tell the wrong person and then it gets out, like, what if they replace me? Like, my mind was just everywhere. So I like made sure that no one like said anything. But yeah.
Did you grow up with any of the original generations of Power Rangers, or were you a fan growing up?
I did watch the show growing up. I didn't watch it a lot. My two older brothers were big fans of the show, and they grew up watching it. So I was always around it and kind of saw it from them watching the show. But then also, like, it's just so cool to be a part of a franchise that's, you know, this big and just this known, because even if you necessarily didn't watch any of like the current seasons or my season or just really any season of Power Rangers, everyone just knows that name.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'm totally going to date myself. It's going to happen two times because you are a part of two very, like you said, two very big franchises. And I feel like I grew up because I'm probably you're around your brother's generation. I actually have pictures of me on set with the original Power Rangers. That's how far back I go. I grew up in the 90s. You're playing Spencer Buckley in Saved by the Bell that's currently on Peacock right now.
Yes. One of my favorite characters that I've ever played. It's really just so different to anything that I've played before. And it was a huge challenge going into it. Even just for the audition, I had to really step outside of my comfort zone to play this character. And I'm really happy about that. It was such a great experience. And, you know, it pushed me and my skills and everything. So it just made it that much more special and memorable. And the cast is amazing. It's so cool to film at Universal, and it's literally like down the street from my apartment. So it's super cool, and just it's such an amazing, you know, blessing to just be a part of this show that, as well as Power Rangers, is also like just so well known. So yeah, it's just super cool.
I know. And this is just, I mean, like, I got to tell you, I'm a fan, and I'm totally dating myself because these were two things that I grew up watching, and I probably was watching them around the same time. I mean, growing up in the 90s, they were rerunning Saved by the Bell constantly. And there's always those references that we have, whether it was Zach, Slater, Screech, Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, every one of the original characters and cast that has made a cameo on the show as well, too. And so to really, me and so many of my friends who I grew up with, this was one of those shows we couldn't wait to watch when it was released on Peacock. We all downloaded the app. We were like, oh my gosh, it's our childhood. And really, I really like the direction they go in it. I mean, I love there's just such a diverse group of characters, and then just even kind of seeing the original cast's evolution. I mean, it didn't surprise me that Zach he's the governor, and he would kind of be the way that he is, that Mac, and it's funny, you see how he's kind of following in his dad's footsteps. But then I do like you know, the issues that get raised, and the not to go down nostalgia lane, but it's just really it's really great to see it so embraced by this new generation.
Yeah, I think it's so cool. just the way that they went about everything in the show, the writing, the cast, the crew, just every department just really nailed it and went all out. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of the show, but just really watching all of the behind the scenes that went into creating the show it's amazing, and it's the biggest production I've ever worked on. And I'm just always like just so mesmerized every time I'm on set and like just watching everything. And I didn't watch the show growing up because it wasn't my generation, but I did know, Saved by the Bell, like everyone has heard that, everyone knows what it is and stuff. And then when I did book the job, I went back and I watched the first season and then like the latest season just to like get a feel for the show and everything. And then taking that and then going into the season and filming and everything, it was really cool to see how they played it. And I think they did a phenomenal job.
Regarding the production on that, because I know one of the things that gets addressed in the finale is there's the text about the pandemic. I was curious, when you were filming that, were you already taking precautions on set, or did you know going in that there was going to be a closure?
Yeah, so I started filming at the end of January, and we went all the way through to like about mid-March when we got shut down. And at that time, we had just finished filming the 7th episode, so there were 3 episodes left to film, and we got shut down because of COVID. And then we went back into production. It's crazy. I mean, everything that we thought, COVID was early, last year around this time, like everyone was just saying like, oh, we're taking a 2-week break. Like it'll be 2 weeks, like blah, blah, blah. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. Like 2 weeks ended up being like 4 or 5 months. And we went back into production, I believe in like August or September when we finished the last 3 episodes. And yeah, there was a lot to get used to. It was a huge change. I think the biggest thing for me specifically was having to do my own hair and makeup touch-ups. We did get our hair and makeup done in the trailer, but once we stepped out and we were on set, we all had our own vanity and our own like makeup bag with everything that we needed. And there was like a rep from each department there to like guide us through what we needed to do, which was really helpful just because I personally don't know how to do makeup. So that was like a little like, I hope I don't make myself look like a clown. Like whatever I look like on TV is like kind of on me now if I like do too much powder or something, I don't know. So yeah, that was like definitely something to get used to. And another big thing was the cast area. We didn't have any cast chairs on set. After like every setup, we had to go back to our trailers and wait for them to build, and then we'd walk back onto set. So yeah, just like all the normal little things that is filming was all just shifted and changed and stuff. But I will say they did like an amazing, phenomenal job with all of the new COVID protocols. And if I felt the safest like anywhere in the world during all of this, it was 1000% on set.
It's happened a few times with some of me and my other friends and colleagues. We're just watching a bunch of stuff that we grew up with getting rebooted. We love the direction it's going in, and I really admire you and your work, and I can't thank you enough for being here today, Abraham.
Thank you so much. That seriously means everything. I'm so happy I got to talk to you and talk a little bit about these projects. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to be a part of these shows and do what I love. So thank you so much for your time and interviewing me and everything. It was a pleasure.
Please, everyone, follow Abraham Rodriguez. Watch him as Nate Silva, as the Gold Beast Morpher Ranger in Power Rangers Beast Morphers. You can watch him on Peacock right now. He plays Spencer Buckley in Saved by the Bell. Abraham, again, you're part of this great legacy. 2 hit shows that were really defined my childhood. And I'm so honored to have you on the show and to see what you've done for this new generation. And really, you're carrying the torch. You're just keeping these shows alive. And again, you're on a roll. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see where your career goes next.
Thank you so much, Kash. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
This was a blast. Anytime, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging with me and Abraham Rodriguez today. You are on air with Kash.